we all inspire each other and chant together. Your association start with Nam mantras. Mantra Patarukhyascha Kripāsam Kitita Kritānam Bhavani Vishnu Namaste Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Namani Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Shapadeshakari Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivastava. Let's pray to Lord Shri Krishna so that we can chant with attention, we can chant with humility, we can chant with a prayerful mood for the next 10 minutes.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram Ram, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Ram Ram, Hare Krishna.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Krishna,
Hare Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare
Ram Ram,
Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare Ram
Ram Ram,
Ram Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram.
Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare
Ram Ram,
Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare
Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Ram Hare Krishna Ram Hare Krishna Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Ram Hare Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Ram
Ram Ram, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Ram Hare Krishna Ram Krishna Ram Hare Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Ram Hare Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Ram Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear friends, devotees, thank you so much for joining. I see Sanjita, Biraj, Monto, and Naina. Thank you so much for taking out your time early morning. How is everyone doing today?
Good.
Happy? Comfortable? Wonderful. Hare Krishna, Rohi, thank you for joining. We're glad to have you with us. I see Mishti, Material also joined. I met Mishti and Material last week. Okay, face to face first time. It was very nice. Thank you. So we'll get started. Last time we talked about gratitude, remember, right? And before that, we were talking about the 24 gurus, right? You remember that connection? The 24 gurus. We have done 2 sessions on that, 24 gurus. 1, 2. Yes, beyond 2? 2? Okay,
Good.
2. So today will be the 3rd session in that series because there are 24 gurus. We have covered how many? I think 7, right? We have covered 7 out of those 24 gurus. So we'll chant some prayers and then get started. Okay. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namah Namaha Pankaja Nabhaya Namaha Pankaja Malini Namaha Pankaja Nitaya Namaste Pankajangri Jaladhara Shashivarnao Kishorao Sahachara Ganarindai Vidamanao Rajisho Natavarajita Vesho Neelapitambaradhyo Jagata Janana Hetu Ramakrishna Natosmi. Who has memorized this prayer? Beautiful. And who has memorized the Vamandev prayer? Memorized the Vamandev? Okay, Mr. will recite the Vamandev. Yeah, go ahead, Sampath. Unmute, please. Jaladhara. Sampath, please unmute. You can speak a Jaladhara. Krishna Balram verse. You need help?
Oh, was that me?
Yes. You raise your
Okay.
hand. You memorize that. You know that.
Jaladhara Sashivarno Gopavesho Kishoro
Sahachara.
Sahacharaganavinde Kridamano Vajeso Natavara Jitaveso Natavara Jitaveso Neelapitambaratyo Jagata Janana Hetu Ramakrishna Natosmi.
Excellent. Yes, Mishti. And I can't see ethereal. It's not in the camera view. Maybe adjust your camera or adjust your chairs. Yes, you listen.
So am I saying the Vamandev verse?
Yes.
Okay. Chalayasi vikramane balim adbhuta vaman padana khanira janita jana pavan keshavadrita vamana rupa jaya jagadisha hare. Hare Krishna.
Excellent. So we had a few days back the Vaman Dwadashi, incarnation of the Lord, who came to the 3 steps of plan, covered everything. and the Balima story. Maybe someday we'll discuss. But today we'll talk about the 24 Gurus. Okay? So this is in Srimad Bhagavatam, right? Canto 11, chapter 7, 8. There are 2 chapters in the section of Bhagavatam, which is also called Udhava Gita. Udhava Gita. So you know Udhava was Krishna's dear friend, cousin, and also very devoted. And if you go to Govardhan, there is a beautiful place called Udhav Kund. There's a beautiful place called Udhav. And how many of you been to Govardhan? Anyone? Govardhan? Okay, some of you. Very nice. So there's a beautiful place called Govardhan and Udhav Kund. So this Supreme Lord, and then I've been, okay, maybe we should all plan to go and have a yatra. By the way, there are yatra for the youth also, right? Every year there's this Shastra in the month of December and the Christmas holidays. It takes the yatra for all the youth, like devotees from like 10 plus to about 10 to 20 years old, who are in that range. And they want to explore different holy places. I think that applies to most of you here in the call. If you're interested, please think about it. You can go with family, but going with devotees is certainly very, very nice. So, Udhava Gita. Who spoke? Krishna spoke to Udhava. In that section, they are talking about a story between two people. This conversation is between two people. Anyone recalls the section we are reading, 24 Gurus, who is speaking to whom? It's a subsection of Udhava Gita where Krishna is speaking to Udhava, but in that there is a story where someone is speaking to the other. Anyone recall who is telling about his gurus? Who is telling? Someone is telling, right? Okay, these are my gurus, these are the people I learned from, right? The Avaduta Brahmana, right? The Avaduta Brahmana is asking actually that. And then who is asking? Yadu Maharaj. So Yadu Maharaj realized, okay, you look to be like an Avaduta. And we discussed the word Avaduta means who looks externally, he looks very weird, like shabby, not proper clothes, not proper, he looks like a fool to the external people, but internally, one may have lots and lots of quality. He was a great devotee of the Lord. So, in that section, we are reading, and he is talking about his 24 gurus. So, let's take a quick revision or quick recap of how many gurus we have covered, and you remember any of those gurus? Of the 7 we have covered so far. Anyone recalls any guru and what we learned from them? And what the Avaduta learned? Raise your hand if you know any guru and what we learned. Okay, Naina, yes.
One of the gurus was Earth, and we learned to be tolerant.
Earth and tolerant, excellent. Because Mother Earth tolerates so much. We all stand on Mother Earth, right? We get the fruits, the vegetables, everything. Yeah? That's number 1. The trees, people dig holes, mines and caves in Mother Earth, but she doesn't complain, she doesn't blame. Why are you hurting me? Right? Okay. The next, anyone else knows? Recalls any guru? Yes, Nishti, Ethereal.
From water, we learned to be honest.
Honest, pure, right? Water is pure, honest, transparent, right? That's the heart of a devotee, right? We should be transparent like the water, right? We learned that, very nice. Earth, we learned that. Okay, 2 gurus covered. What else? Anyone else recalls other gurus? Earth, water, yes. Devantu.
Wasn't it fire one of them?
Fire was certainly one of them. Yes. What do we learn from the fire?
It always keeps burning. It's internal.
Sometimes internal, sometimes external. So some places, the devotee shows their qualities, and some places they just like internal. They don't display it, right? Like the coal fire and the forest fire. There's two fires. That is internal and external. There are other qualities also. And from the moon, we learned that moon goes in phases. Like recently, there was the Bhadra Purnima, right? The full moon day. And the moon goes in phases from Amavasya or dark or no moon to full moon. Similarly, our life, we go in phases. In like you were 5 years old at some point, then 7 years, now you are 10 or 15, right? Your body is changing, growing. It will grow 20, it will grow 30, right? But the person keeps moving in phases. And we also learn that we must tolerate, right? We won't tolerate ups and downs happen in everyone's life, profit and loss, health and disease. Very nice. What else we learned? Yes, Bianca?
The sun.
Sun, yes. Here. So we talked about the water cycle, like how the sun gives. Remember? It's 2 weeks back. You all know the water cycle. How many of you know water cycle? Raise your hand. Right? Does sun have a critical role there? Hmm. The sun takes water from the ocean, right? Through evaporation, right? But sun gives it back to the clouds and then clouds pour. So sun doesn't keep. So whatever skills we have, it could be money, it could be skills, we all learn, right? We take, but we must learn to give back also. And then we also have the air, right? The sun, moon, air, earth, sky, fire. These are the 7 we have covered so far. Okay, so far so good. Now we will go directly to the Srimad Bhagavatam and we will learn directly from there and we all will get chance to read as well. Okay. How many of you are excited to read? Who would like to read directly from the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam? Everyone? Okay. I see Vinayak and Ansh have also joined. Hey, go, welcome. Okay, so raise your electronic hand, and when your turn is done, you can drop the hand. Okay, so that I know who have read and who are not willing to read. So we have read about the different gurus, right? The Avadhuta Brahman says, okay, these are my gurus, Sun, Moon, Python, Sea, etc. Right? And then he maybe Perfect will read as needed. So the sun evaporates large quantities of water by its rays and later returns in the form of rain, right? Similarly, a saintly person accepts all types of material objects and with the senses at the appropriate time, but when the proper person has approached him to request them, he returns. You remember the Dichi Muni? He gave up his bones also. You remember that story? He gave up his bones when Indra came to ask for to make a weapon. Indra Vritrastra story. Okay, so now this brings us to the next one. We'll read this verse. Buddhyate svena bhedena vyaktistha iva tadgataha lakshate sthulam matibhir atma javastito arkavat. Translation is one way to see Vedanta, Swami Prabhupada, Srila Pigeon. Now we will begin. And then the step of the 8th Guru, and that's where we start today, is the pigeon. Let's read about the pigeon. Who wants to read the translation? Okay, actually, this is also about the sun. Let's go with pigeon. So let's start from here. 52. Okay, yes, Viraj, you can.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I'm having a little trouble hearing you. I don't know if it's my like computer system, but I tried both on my phone and my computer, and you're not audible. So
Yeah, same for me.
Same, Prabhuji.
You're not able to.
I can hear you, Prabhuji.
I can hear perfectly fine.
Same.
Voice is just low. It's not that loud.
It's like not
Well, either, Prabhuji.
I don't know if it's your audio or anything, but I can hear him fine.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. You can't hear me or can't see my screen. I'm not sharing now, but can you hear me, please?
we can hear you, but it's like pretty muffled, so sometimes it's like really hard to hear.
Okay.
Yeah, Prabhuji.
I guess it has been cutting out a little bit.
Okay, how about now?
That's
Is it
better.
Yes, Prabhuji, that's
Yeah,
better.
it's clear this time.
okay? Good. Thanks. Yeah, feedback. We all need feedback in life. So thank you for giving feedback. Yeah. Please don't feel scared or shy. If something is not clear, I would not know that you're having difficulty. So please be very open, and we're like friends here. Okay? Is it okay now? Okay, I'm going to share my screen now, so we can start reading. What's the next? The eighth Guru, the pigeon. Okay, let's read from this point. Yes, Biraj, you can.
Correction. One should never indulge in excessive affection or concern for anyone or anything. Otherwise, one will have to experience great suffering just like a foolish pigeon. Oh, sorry, sloka, right, Prabhuji. Nati sneha prasna. Oh, do I read the sloka, Prabhuji?
No, I think that's fine. We'll
Okay.
just read the translation purport. So the point is, excessive affection for anything or anyone leads to suffering. Has anyone felt that in their lives? Right? Excessive. And we're not saying to be not human, not be caring, kind, not be affectionate to us. But excessive attachment leads to problem. To anything, a person, or a object. Let's read the quick purport. It's a short story. Actually, the story is going to come. So the point here is the word is ati, excessive, right? Excessive affection or attachment, there is no Krishna consciousness, right? So can we be attached to Krishna conscious things? Yes, Prabhupada is giving full permission. But to non-Krishna conscious things, we'll suffer, right? We have to have a healthy balance. And one should be the most attached to Krishna, right? Because the Lord is so affectionate. He sits right there, always with us, always there to guide us, help us, protect us. So we should show our friendship, our love, our affection to Krishna and Krishna consciousness. So now we'll read the story of the pigeon. Now you may wonder why the pigeon word has been brought up here. How many of you are curious? You want to know the story of why this foolish pigeon is said, right? You want to hear the story? Okay, let's read the story about this pigeon. Okay. Yes, Sampada.
Do I read the sloka too, or just the
Yeah,
translation?
just the translation.
Okay, there once was a pigeon who lived in the forest along with his wife. He had built a nest within a tree and lived there for several years in her company.
Yeah, continue. I think it's pretty clear, right? The pigeon and the wife were living in the nest for very many years. Yes, continue.
The two pigeons were very much devoted to their household duties. Their hearts being tied together by sentimental affection, they were each attracted by the other's glances, bodily features, and states of mind. Thus they completely bound each other in affection.
Husband, she pigeon, he pigeon, right? Very, very attached. And that's very common in today's world also, right? Male, female attraction, which is actually nothing but lust. People call it love, love at first sight, divorce at first fight, right? But actually it's lust. Especially for a brahmachari, which you all are, there is no room for this kind of, premarital affair in the Vedic culture, which we are all trying to follow. You're all brahmacharis, right? Or brahmacharinis, right?
Your focus is what? Or our focus, even for a grihastha doesn't mean license to these kind of things. So the focus is what? What's our key focus as a brahmachari? We are in the brahmachari phase, right? I'm talking about this group here. What's the key focus? Yes, Mishti?
Studying and doing Krishna consciousness.
Yes, perfect. Studies and Krishna consciousness. Do you have to worry about how to earn money for your family? Do you have to worry about who will pay the electric bill? Do you have to worry about who will get the groceries tonight? Do you have to worry about who will cook? Right? Do you have to worry about the lawn care or the snow removal or the water bill or the Wi-Fi bill? So many things. These are the grihastha duties, right? Your parents are worrying about that so that you, as a brahmachari, as a student, can focus on what? Your studies, your academic duties, and your bhakti, period. Right? Vyavasayatmika buddhir was going to complete. Vyavasayatmika buddhir. Eke, yes, Mishti?
Vyavasayatmika buddhir ekah kuru nandana bahushakha hyanantascha buddhayo vyavasayinam.
Who is going to tell us the meaning of this? When our intelligence is focused single, vyavasayatmika buddhi, like single focus attention, then we can focus much better. When you're multitasking, multi-branch, right? Bahu shakha, bahu means multi-branch, shakha. Avyavasayina, we are not able to do anything, right? Because His Holiness Swami Bhagwan Keshav Maharaj was mentioning this in a recent conversation. People said, earlier we were nowhere, years, decades, millenniums back. Then we got somewhere, right? We were able to move faster, cars and stuff, right? We were able to get to one place to the other faster. We got somewhere. Now we are everywhere, right? You can talk to like in the Zoom where pretty much I'm talking to someone in Boston, I'm talking to someone in Tampa, I'm talking to someone in Washington, like everywhere, right? But in the pursuit of trying to go everywhere and trying to do everything, actually we end up going nowhere, right? We have so many gadgets, we have so many apps, we have so many distractions, right? So we have to be very, very careful because we are living in this world, right? So we have to be very, very careful. Especially in this age, all of you are in this age, you don't have to raise hands and stuff, but how many of you feel, maybe you have to think like, do I feel also these kind of, because your peers may be having, these kind of things going on, right? You know what I'm talking, male, females kind of relationships in a very young age in schools and colleges. Some of you are in school, some of you will going to colleges soon. You want us to be very, very careful. Otherwise, we will be distracted, we will be misled, we will be tricked, cheated, and we will lose our focus on what's our prime two duties, bhakti and studies. Those will be lost. So my dear friends, very, very careful, right? Because, allurement is what? Allurement is, it seems that, no, this guy, what he's talking will not make sense. I know better. I can handle this. And people in the past had difficulty, but I'll be very, very careful. That's how my mind will trick. I'll not let my studies take a back seat. I'll not let my bhakti take a back seat. Still, I can manage. That's how my will trick. The mind will trick. Has anyone happened? Not maybe exactly in the same situation, but in other situations also. We think I'll only use my mobile or my gadget for 10 minutes, but Maya tricks us and we end up using for 1 hour. So it could be anything, any excessive attachment to an object, to a person, to anything. So this pigeon, male pigeon, female pigeon, were living. Now, let's see what happens further. Rui, you want to read? Yeah,
I kind of
further.
have a bad cough, so my throat kind of hurts.
Sorry, sorry, I didn't hear you properly.
I have a bad cough, so my throat hurts a
Oh,
little.
okay. So, okay. Hope you feel better, so you can take, you can just hear, okay, Beyond two, and then Naina after Beyond.
Okay, naively trusting in the future, they carried out their acts of resting, sitting, walking, standing, conversing, playing, eating, and so forth, as a loving couple among the trees of the forest.
Yeah, like that's what most people do: eating, sleeping, mating, defending, right? Sitting, talking, how are you, this, that, and time spends like hours and hours, and lifetime goes, years, decades fly. Okay. Whenever she desired anything, "O king," the she-pigeon would flatteringly cajole her husband, and he in turn and gratify by faithfully doing whatever she wanted. "Oh, I'll get for you, don't worry, I'm there for you," right? Hmm. So like that, they continued, and then they had children, right? The chaste lady delivered number of eggs, right? And finally, the babies came out, they're small babies, and were born from those. And two pigeons became affectionate to the other, took pleasure in listening to their their sweet voices, and they're calling mama, papa, like that. The baby pigeons are calling, and the parents were very joyful, happy with their children, and this. They're having like a nice kind of family life, devoid of like excessive attachment. Mm? So the children were going on happy, parents were going on happy, and their hearts were bound. So affection, excessive affection. You see that again and again. Srila Shukadev Goswami is bringing the point. They were excessively over. They forgot the goal of life, right? And this happens, my dear friends. It's not the pigeon story. It's our story, right? I've seen, in my college, sometimes boyfriend, girlfriend, they'll spend hours, 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 hours. They'll bunk the classes. You know the word bunk, right? They'll not go to the class. They'll miss the class. They would have nothing but just busy talking to each other. They'll fail in their exams. They'll have lots of problems. Why? Excessive attachment, missing the goal. So one has to be very careful. It's not just the pigeon. This pigeon is an example, right? We may see as foolishness, what, right? I mean, we see in this. Can anyone think of another example from the scriptures where excessive attachment happened and it led to problems? Yes, Sampada.
Dhritarashtra was attached to his sons.
Yes, Dhritarashtra, classic example. The Gita begins with this. What did my sons and the sons of Pandu did? Mamaka Pandavaishchaiva Kim Akurvata Sanjaya. Mere bache, my children, right? Yes, Mishti, what's on your mind?
Jarbharat, he was attached to the deer.
Yes, Jar Bharat. So we have to think of what is that thing in my life. Take a moment, take a 1 minute pause, right? Because scriptures are not just meant to be read, they're meant to be heard, understood, internalized, and applied. Is there something in your life you are excessively attached to? Well, it's with japa, it's great because it's Krishna consciousness, but often it's not the case, right? If it studies, it's great, right? I mean, of course, we're not saying to become a bookworm and lose your health and stuff, but often that's not the case. So think about something you are overly attached to and it's not helping you. Think of something or someone, right? And use the chat box to reply. if you feel comfortable. If you want to keep it private, it's your internal journey, that's fine. I respect that. Mm. But be honest, at least take a minute to reflect what is that you're overly attached to, and it's not helping you in your Krishna conscious journey. Mm. And I will not say who said what, okay? I'll just keep the confidentiality. So please respond. Okay. Yeah, please respond. Mm. Everyone, please take a. Okay. Okay. I'm seeing everyone's response. I won't say anyone who is attached where, but I'll kind of take a summary of what the responses I'm getting. So many of you said gadgets, kind of, right? It could be TV, it could be iPad, it could be mobile phone, it could be some kind of gadget. And you use gadget for something. It could be Facebook, it could be watching movies, it could be watching social media, it could be watching songs, Hollywood, Bollywood, right? So in short, the interaction of gadget and what comes with the gadget, right? Is that fair? Is that like a common theme across most of you? Hmm? Right? So again, social media, movies, songs, and Instagram, everything is kind of linked, right? So that's a great step, right? That's the first great step, that when we know, okay, here's a problem, and I have identified my problem. So now when we know there's a problem, we have to develop a plan, right? And you have to develop a plan. So this is your homework, okay? You find out and one could have more than 2-3 attachments, that's fine. But you find out what's your biggest thing or biggest like roadblock in your journey. And we cannot say, hey, okay, I'll not touch phone from hence now. I'll not touch TV. I'll not touch phone. I'll not touch laptop. Is it practical? It's not practical. Maybe for some things, like someone is living in the jungles of, Rishikesh or somewhere, and maybe, but we are living in, modern cities we have to use it for homeworks. We have to use it to talk to our friends, family, and so we can't say we'll go, in an isolation and just forget about all these. But again, if we go to the other extreme, then also it's problem. So this is a task, my dear friends. You discuss as an individual, you talk to your family, you figure out what are experts using to overcome that challenge. Okay? So this is your homework. Okay, so what's the task? What's the task? We cannot cut it down fully, but we can minimize it. If you're using 3 hours a day, can we come to 1 hour a day? Something like that. So using to get to 2 to 1 and 1 to basic, and there are apps and stuff which can tell you like your screen time, how much time you use it for Facebook, how much time you use it for Instagram, right? The phone tells that. Or your parents can tell. You can have some parent control on your phones that, okay, I'm going to use it for only this much time. Please don't give me beyond that, right? You can like a time block. Okay, this time I'll use my phone for this activity, which is like my studies or my talking to my family, etc. So think of different ways, my dear friends, and come up with solution. It's your journey, right? I don't want to say, okay, you have to do this. You see, is it going to help you? Do it. It's going to harm you, don't do it. Very simple. Okay, so please come up with some thoughts, some ideas which will help to improve. Okay, let's continue further. What happened? One day, the two heads of the family, referring to the male and the female pigeon, went out to find the food, but very anxious to find. Okay, let's make it easier. Okay. They wandered around the forest for a long time. They were not able to find. Okay, Nana, you can read from here. You can read the 2 verses.
Hare Krishna. At that time, a certain hunter who happened to be wandering through the forest saw the young pigeons moving about near their nest. Spreading out his nest, he captured them all.
Hmm. As the parents were out, the young ones were captured in the net. Hmm. Next,
The
Mishti.
pigeon,
Okay, you can read. Yeah, complete.
the pigeon and his wife were always anxious for the maintenance of their children, and they were wandering in the forest for that purpose. Having obtained proper food, they now returned to their nest.
Hmm. So they were very anxious. They went out, get some food and stuff. They came back and see what happened. Yes, Mishti, let's read further.
When the lady pigeon caught sight of her own children trapped within the hunter's net, she was overwhelmed with anguish, and crying out, she rushed towards them as they cried out to her in return.
Continue. Continue.
The lady pigeon had always allowed herself to be bound by the ropes of intense material affection, and thus her mind was overwhelmed by anguish. Being in the grip of the illusory energy of the Lord, she completely forgot herself, and rushing forward to her helpless children, she was immediately bound in the hunter's net.
Hmm. So what she thought that she's going to save her children from the hunter's net, but what ended up happening? She was also bound in the hunter's trap and the hunter's net. Seeing his own children who were more dear to him than his life itself fatally bound in the hunter's net along with the dear wife whom he considered equal in every way to himself, the poor male pigeon, the head of the family, the father, the husband, began to lament. Now, see, what is he lamenting? Who's going to read? Atar, you want to read?
Shiroji. The male pigeon said, "Alas, just see how I am destroyed. I am obviously a great fool, for I did not properly execute pious activities. I could not satisfy myself, nor could I fulfill the purpose of life. My dear family, which was the basis of my religiosity, economic development, and sense gratification, is now hopelessly ruined." Hare Krishna.
This is what happens. Too much affection. Alas, alas. Let's say we don't get to that. Someone takes us, like phone is very dear to us. That's it, dear to me. And someone takes our phone, we feel someone has taken our life away, right? Hi, I can't live without my phone. The phone was dear to me. What will happen? How will I check WhatsApp? How will I check Facebook? How will I talk to my friends? My life is ruined. People are very attached. It could be phone, it could be person, it could be a car. For someone, it could be home, it could be social media. Oh, I need to see who sent me messages. Oh, what if I don't respond to them? They will think, oh, I don't like them. They'll start, the mind starts to make so many stories, right? Nothing is going to happen. Only our mind is attached and we are giving excuses. Mind is giving excuses, right? And what happens? We, like the foolish pigeon, miss the goal of life, right? Hmm. So the pigeon was not happy, right? Because like if someone takes the phone away, you'll not be happy. If someone takes for an adult the car away or the home away, the nature is going to take it anyways, right? So let's not be over attached. My wife and I were ideal match, right? Made for each other. My phone, iPhone, my I and iPhone, my wife and I and iPhone are ideal match, right? My phone has faithfully obeyed. We can fill it whatever, right? And the phone has been so helpful, my worshipable deity, right? But now seeing her children lost and her home empty, she has left me behind and gone to heaven with her saintly children, right? Now I'm wretched person living in an empty home. My wife is dead. Jad Bharat also, dear situation, same happened, right? The Mrigari story, the Kailash story, same thing, overly attachment. My wife is dead, my children are dead. Why should I possibly want to live? My dear friend, this is very, very serious thing. Many people, when their so-called girlfriend, so-called boyfriend, they leave, they have a heartbreak, and they end up doing in very wrong things. It's real. Why? It's because of excessive attachment to the wrong thing or the wrong person and leading to non-Krishna conscious things, and they end up in doing wrong things or going into depression as if life is over. No, people meet, people will come in our lives, people will go, right? So let's continue. As the father wretchedly started, stare at his poor children. Now he's seeing, but he's like the children, he can see that they're trapped on the verge of death. They can't move and struggling to free them. So his mind went blank and he himself fell into the butcher's net. Or trying, oh, I'll save them. I'll save them. He also jumped there. That's a great lesson. Sometimes you may think, oh, my dear friend, he is taking drugs, alcohol, bad things, bad substances, very, very dear to me. I will go there and save him. Hare Baba, what is the guarantee will come back? Hmm? Yes, he went to save that person and started doing wrong thing with that person. Correct? That's what happened here. The male pigeon thought, oh, I can't see them. They're almost dying. Let me go, and try to save them. And he got trapped there. Right? How many of you have heard or seen kabaddi? Right? Kabaddi, like you have to, there's a team, right? Like let's say 5 players on this side, 5 on this side. So one player goes from one side and goes to the other team. And the goal is to touch 1 or 2 people and try to come back. Right? But if you try to go too deep, and then they'll catch you, and you'll not be able to come back. You're stuck. You're out of the game. It may happen with us also. The same thing happened with this male pigeon, the cruel hunter. He was just waiting. The hunter here is like Maya. Maya is waiting. He's just waiting. The trap is there. No doubt we call it internet or network, social network, right? It's a net. It's a trap. Instagram, right? Instant gratification, right? It gives insta, right? No doubt it's a trap. Maya's trap. It's an invisible trap. We think, no. I'll be able to save people. I will go to Instagram and start preaching. I mean, not a bad idea, but let's make sure you come out too, right? Right? So we have to have a healthy balance, right? I'm not saying Instagram is bad or Facebook is bad or phone is bad or laptop is bad. When we don't balance, everything becomes bad. And if we have a healthy balance, we live under scriptures, we live under guidance of adults, parents, teachers, guru, then we are watchful, right? Don't go in extremes, right? We don't lose our intelligence. Here the male pigeon, the female pigeon lost her intelligence. She went to try to save, she got caught. Male pigeon saw this, oh, my wife tried to save and she got caught. Now he got caught himself as well. So in short, the doors of revelation are wide open, was achieved human life, but if a human being simply devotes himself to family like foolish bird, right? So in short, again, family life is not like, we're not saying bad, especially if it's a Krishna conscious family, but too much attachment to anything and any person will certainly lead to problems. Questions, thoughts here? Was the story meaningful? So the guru number 8 is, guru number 8 is, everyone please type in, who is the guru number 8 and what's the lesson there? What is the guru teaching us? Yes, Beyond, you can speak while everyone is typing.
Okay. To never be self-attached to anything or anybody, because it'll go horribly wrong for you.
Right. Because attachment blinds us, like Dhritarashtra was spiritually blind. He could not see wrong in his own child, right? Attachment to thing or a person, excessive attachment is going to. The guru is pigeon here, okay? The pigeon is teaching us, okay? The next guru number 9 is the python, okay? Guru number 9 is the python. So the pigeon we just read about, we'll talk about the python. How many of you have seen a python? Anyone has seen python? Maybe in the zoo or somewhere, right? There are different types of snakes. I don't know, it's very hard to distinguish, but I'm sure you have seen python or some form of snake, at least everyone may have seen. So, okay, let's read what can we learn from a python. Who's going to read? Okay, yes, Biraj. And please raise your hand if you would like to read and I haven't got chance yet. Please raise your hand so you can get a chance. Yes, Biraj.
Hare Krishna. So following the example of the python, one should give up material endeavors and accept for one's maintenance food that comes of its own accord, whether such food be delicious or tasteless, ample or meager.
So the python is called Ajgar, right? In Hindi, Ajgar Vritti. So python doesn't endeavor too much. Okay, let me get this. Let me get. Oh, where is the best pakoda in town? Let me go there. Or where is the best lassi in town? Let me get there. Where is the best? Let me explore all the restaurants to get all the best food. No, Python is teaching whatever. Like do the dutiful, and let things come on their own accord. If at any time food does not come, then a saintly person is teaching that, okay, I'll fast. Okay, maybe it's Lord's arrangement. Of course, we cannot imitate that. We are not saying to go without food for days. But the point is that if someone is hungry and grateful, they will be happy with even simple food. Have you felt that when we're very hungry, then you are happy with even simple food? How many of you have experienced that when you're very hungry, and even if it's simple food, simple rice dal, simple khichdi, you're very happy to have that. But if you're not hungry, the best of the food, the best of the pakora, the best of the samosa will not be so tempting. Anyone has experienced that? Because the belly is not hungry. Let me tell you a quick story. One time, a father told his son, son, in your life, never give up 3 things. He's giving advice. My dear son, never give up 3 things. Number 1, eating the best food. Number 2, sleeping in the most comfortable bed. Number 3, living in the finest home. What do you think? Does that make sense based on our Shastras? 3 things: eating the best food, sleeping in the most comfortable bed, and living in the finest home. Never give up these 3 things. But doesn't it sound contrary to what we learn in the scriptures? I mean, just now we read we should be grateful and happy with whatever comes by one's own accord. Here we're talking about, so there's a hidden meaning to all these 3 things. So what are the 3 things? Eating the best food, sleeping in the most comfortable bed, and in the most comfortable home, right? So the son said, Father, we are poor. We're talking about the finest food, the finest home, the finest bed. We are poor people. So the father gave a meaning. You want to know what's the hidden meaning of these three things? Good. Sampada wants to try. What you want to know?
I wanna try. I think for the food he means like something healthy. I don't know.
Okay, close. Okay, I'll elaborate what. So the father said, when you're truly hungry, what you will eat will be the best for you. Of course, we have to eat Krishna conscious sattvic food. But if you're not hungry, the finest food also will not have any meaning, right? Number two, what was that? Sleep in the most comfortable bed. He said, you work hard. And when you're tired and you go to the bed, you'll have a very sound sleep. And the bed, whatever that bed, even if it's sleeping on a yoga mat, how many of you have experienced that sleep is very wonderful, right? When you're tired and you go to bed, whether it's I'm not talking about the quality or the brand of the bed or the mattress. We're talking about when the person is, tired and really needs rest, the bed does not matter. Hmm? What matters is we work hard rather than be lazy, work hard, and then the sleep will be wonderful. And number three, always live in the finest home. What does that mean? He said, when you treat others with love, with gratitude, with kindness, you will have a place in people's heart. And that is the finest home, to have a space, when people remember you for being a genuine, loving, caring person, selfless. There could be no better home, right? So I just thought to share that. So the Python is teaching, the ninth guru, the Python is teaching that whatever, like we should be happy with God's arrangement, in short, right? You should be peaceful, happy. Sometimes good things will come our way. Like, like who wants to get fever? Anyone wishing to get fever or any disease? Anyone wants it? Raise your hand if you want fever or disease. Okay, who has got fever or any form of disease in the past year or past 2 years, 3 years? Raise your hand if you got some disease, some fever, some cough, cold. Everyone gets it. So what is it? It's arrangement. That we don't want certain things, we still get it. So good things will also come, bad things will also come. Sometimes praise will come, sometimes criticism will come. Just take it like a Python is teaching. Be peaceful and patient and take it as God's arrangement. Be peaceful, be happy. Hmm? Don't over endeavor for things like, which are like, just do the dutiful. Like, I'm not saying to not study, okay, good grades will come their own way. No, do your part, right? But don't say, okay, I have to get first, and if I don't get, this will happen, right? And then you're missing your health and you're missing your food. No, a healthy balance. So the Python is teaching that. So a saintly person is happy and pleasing in external behavior, where internally he is most grave, right? Like the sea, like the ocean. That's the 10th guru now. How many have been to ocean or sea? Any ocean, any sea you have been to? Raise your hand. Any beach? That's basically part of the, the 10th guru is the ocean. What can we learn from the ocean, my dear friends? Can we learn something? Think of. Can anyone think of a lesson from the ocean? Okay. The ocean on the surface looks tranquil. like the water is gently coming, right? How many of you like that sight? Just be on the ocean, beach side and just walk maybe or just sit and just feel the nice breeze coming, the waves coming. We like that, right? It's nature, it's sattvic, it's water. Water is purifying. Ocean is purifying. So we all like that. So it may seem very tranquil, very smooth, uh, but it's very deep, right? It's very deep. It's very wide. Hmm? So the lesson here is a saintly person externally very happy and pleasing, like the ocean externally is very happy, pleasing, whereas internally he is most grave and thoughtful. Internally, he's doing a lot of work behind the scene to be happy and peaceful externally. Hmm? Right? He is he may, like a lot of even if they have like challenges, like we all have challenges, right? But but externally is always happy and peaceful, like the unfathomable, unsurpassable ocean. We also read a Bhagavad Gita verse, right? Like the rivers come in the ocean, right? Have you read this? And all the rivers come to the ocean, but the ocean stays undisturbed. The ocean doesn't overflow. The rivers here represent desires, right? The desires may come in the heart of a saintly person. So I'm not saying that allurements will not come when you go to school, college, because we have that, we are in the conditioned body, we're in the conditioned stage. So the allurements will come. It's not that the allurement, you may want to eat something which may not be very healthy. You may want to be with someone which may not be very healthy. Temptations will come. People will say, hey, let's go to this place. Hey, let's go here. Let's try this out. Hey, no one is watching. Your parents are back home there. Let's try this out. Allurements will come. But a saintly person stays sober, tolerates them. So that's what we learn from the ocean, right? During the rainy season, let's read. Who has not read and wants to read? Anyone who has not read yet and wants to read? Okay, Karina. This is the 10th Guru. You can read this.
Hare Krishna. During the rainy season, the swollen rivers rush into the ocean, and during the dry summer, the rivers, now shallow, severely reduce their supply of water. Yet the ocean does not swell up during the rainy season, nor does it dry up in the hot summer. In the same way, a saintly devotee who has accepted the Supreme Personality of Godhead as the goal of his life sometimes will receive by providence great material opulence, and sometimes he will find himself materially destitute. However, such a devotee of the Lord does not rejoice in a flourishing condition, nor is he morose when poverty stricken. Hare Krishna.
Very bold. The classic verse here. Tam Satikshva Subharata must tolerate. The ocean tolerates the rainy season and the summer season. There will be ups and downs in everyone's life. Okay. So we learned about 3 gurus today, right? The pigeon, the python, and then the ocean or the sea, right? Does anyone have any questions so far in this discussion? Are you good with the class assignment based on the pigeon story? Okay. Okay. Anyone has any feedback or any reflection, something struck you from today? Okay, let's take a few reflections. Something struck you, something you learned, something was very interesting to you, something you felt, enlightened. to know? Let's take some thoughts. Okay, yes, Biraj, then Beyonto, then Sampada.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So today when we were talking about attachment and material attachment, excessive attachment, like when I was like reflecting, it was like astonishing, like how many things that I like it seems like I can't live without like how many things I'm attached to other than Krishna conscious things.
Mhm. Thank you. Thank you for doing that reflection, right? Every day we should reflect for at least 5 minutes. Can you all do that? Just 5 minutes when you begin your day or something, even if, just me time, I time, right? We have iPhone, but we don't have I time or me time. So go into that time and just see, okay, how can I be a better person today? Hmm? Even one better thing today from yesterday will make a difference. Something you learned, something you read, something you have a weakness. We all have. We are not perfect beings. It will. So that reflection is very good. As Biraj Prabhu said, it's not just in his life, in all over. It's astonishing to see how many things I'm attached, but they're not so like essential for our lives. Okay, good. Beyond to?
It was just amazing to me how dangerous it is to be like attached to something that's not like Krishna consciousness.
Mm, yes. And it comes very mild, right? It comes very slow and gradual. Srila Prabhupada tells a story, right? It may seem in the beginning, oh, it's not going to harm us, right? After all, I can handle it. Hmm? Shall I tell you a story which devotees quote? You all like stories, right? How many of you have traveled in trains, especially Indian trains? Indian trains you have traveled? What's one very, very unique thing about that? Indian trains? Yes, Mishti.
They're always so crowded, and you don't really have your own individual seat. You just need to find a place to sit or stand, usually.
Yeah, they're always very, very crowded. Hmm? So, uh, the devotees share this story. Okay, and there are some seats also, by the way, in Indian trains. It's a joke. I think those who have traveled would know why it's a joke, because 80% of the people are standing, but sometimes there are seats, right? So if you have traveled, there are seats on two sides, right? And then there is a window here, something like that. Hmm? Uh, oh no, what happened? Can you still see something? Okay, some of my computer is acting up, but okay. So there is a window here, right? And there are, let's say, 4 seats. So how many people would you expect right? So just imagine there are like 4 seats here. So, okay, so let's say you are sitting here. Somehow you were lucky. Somehow you were lucky that you found a seat here. Okay, that's I. How many people do you expect to be sitting here in those 4 seats? How many? Okay, show with your fingers. 2, 4, 8, 10, 6, 7. Yeah, it's never 4, right? Especially in Indian train. It's always like at least a few more, right? And that's the magic India has. Like you can squeeze 8 people on 4 seats. So somehow it was a lucky day. You know, you were sitting and there were a few other people also sitting um, on these seats. And so 4 people were sitting. And then comes, let's say maybe 6 people were sitting, right? So there was not much space, let's say. 6 people on 4 seats, that's a lot. And these are not like a sofa. These are like very narrow seats. Anyways, so there's a big lady comes and she has a baby in her hand. And she has 3 more babies, right? And she comes. She's a big lady with a lot of kids, right? And says, "Oh, well, you know," she's standing there and guess what happens? And she asks, "Hey, can you allow maybe one of my child to sit?" Again, well, people say, I mean, all the seats are packed, huh? Everything is packed. So we're talking about this side. Well, there is no space. I mean, you see, like we're already 6 of us. There's no space. Like every particle of the seat is taken. Well, we can squeeze in, somehow we can squeeze in. And everyone like, okay, everyone move a little bit. We'll squeeze and try to have space for one child. So one child. Somehow they try to squeeze, and this guy jumps and sits here. And then this guy throws tantrum. Hey, why is that person sitting? I want to sit too. And he starts crying. Oh, no, 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 I want space too. Finally, this guy says, too much. I'm moving out. This guy comes here. One after the other, everyone, right? These 3 people, like 4 people are out, and these 4 have taken their spots, right? That's how Maya enters. Finally, this baby starts crying. Oh, I want, my mom's milk. Now the mom has to sit. Now these 2 people also need to get out. The big lady has to sit along with the baby. So what happened? I mean, we're not saying to not give our seat to, that's not the meaning here, to someone who needs it more than us, like old person or a mother or small kids. Of course we should offer our seats. That's Vedic culture. But the lesson here is that the Maya will start small and take our whole thing, right? So we have to be very careful. Okay, yes, Sampada, what's on your mind?
I was thinking about how for the Python one, for the Guru number 9, I was thinking how I'm such a big picky eater, like I just need some good stuff to eat. So I think I'm also attached to food in one sense. So I feel like I need to more like work on those stuff when I was contemplating on the whole thing that we went over.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Yes. It's all about reflection and continuous improvement. Okay, I think it's almost time. Anything else before we wrap up? So please work on the first, so we covered 7 gurus in the last session. We covered 8, 9, 10. Pigeon, Python, and Ocean. We'll cover maybe 5, 6 more in the next class. Maybe 2 or 3 more sessions, and we'll complete the 24 gurus. Okay. So verse memorization, we covered a few verses also. So let's revise some verses from the Gita, right? Vyavasayatmika Buddhir verse. You can revise the Atyahara Prayasascha, Prajalpo Niyamagraha. No, that's from Nectar of Instruction, sorry. You can revise the 2.62 and 63, like whatever we contemplate on, we become attached. Attachment leads to problem, the whole cycle, right? Are you following which ones I'm talking? 2.62 and 63, the cycle. When we contemplate dhyayato vishayan pumsa. Okay, so you can revise these 3-4 verses which we indirectly covered. We also covered the verse on tolerance. There are many verses on Gita about tolerance, so review that also. Okay, so we'll pause here and we'll continue next time. I'm so grateful to all of you for your time, for your attention, for your reflections, and for your wonderful Sangha. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripasindubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaः. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Gaur Bhaktavinda ki jai. Hare Krishna, thank you. Have a nice rest of your day. Hari Bol.
Hare
Hare
Krishna, thank
Krishna.
you.
Hare Krishna.